The sun seemed to catch on every sharp angle of Julian's face, as if light itself were eager to be near him. He moved through the corridors of the university library with a grace that felt choreographed, though it was entirely innate. He was a man of marble and silk, possessing a symmetry that made people stop mid-sentence just to watch him pass. And then there was ARA. ARA was a collection of jagged edges and unfortunate proportions. Her hair was a frizzy, indeterminate shade of brown that defied both brushes and gravity. Her skin was a map of old scars and uneven textures, and her thick glasses magnified eyes that always seemed a little too wide, as if she were perpetually startled by her own existence. She was the shadow in the corner, the smudge on a polished lens. She had loved him since their first semester of senior seminar. It wasn't a shallow crush based on his golden skin or the way his voice sounded like cello notes. She loved the way he meticulously underlined his books and the way he frowned when he was thinking about ethics. One rainy Tuesday, ARA found herself sitting across from him in the crowded student lounge. It was the only open chair left. Her heart hammered against her ribs like a trapped bird. "Julian," she croaked, her voice cracking. She cleared her throat, mortified. I have the notes from the lecture you missed. If you want them." Julian looked up from his laptop. His eyes, a piercing clear blue, swept over her. There was no cruelty in his gaze. That would have required too much energy. Instead, there was a polite, distant flicker of recognition, the way one might acknowledge a particularly dull piece of furniture. "That's all right, ARA," he said, his tone smooth and utterly indifferent. "I've already got them from Marcus. But thanks." "Oh. Okay. Good," she stammered. She fumbled with her bag, her fingers clumsy. A pen rolled off the table, and as she scrambled to grab it, she nearly knocked over her lukewarm tea. Julian didn't reach out to help. He didn't laugh. He simply looked back at his screen, effectively erasing her from his reality. To ARA, every interaction was a tectonic shift. To Julian, she was background noise, the hum of the air conditioner or the distant honk of a car. He was often surrounded by women who looked like they belonged on the covers of magazines, women whose beauty matched his own. When he laughed with them, his entire face transformed into something radiant. When ARA tried to join the periphery of those conversations, his smile didn't fade. It simply didn't extend to her. It stayed locked within the circle of the beautiful. Weeks turned into months. ARA did his coffee runs when the group was studying late, hoping the small kindness would make him truly see her. She corrected his citations, she looked up obscure references for his thesis, and she stayed until the lights dimmed in the library just to walk 10 paces behind him to the parking lot. One evening, emboldened by the dim glow of the street lamps, ARA caught up to him. "Julian!" "Wait." He stopped, checking his watch. "Everything okay? I wanted to ask if you'd like to grab dinner. Not for a project." "Just us?" The silence that followed was heavy. Julian looked at her, really looked at her, and for the first time the indifference wavered. It was replaced by a flicker of discomfort, a mild distaste that he was too well-bred to voice aloud. He saw the frizzy hair, the mismatched clothes, and the desperate, pleading hope in her magnified eyes. "ARA," he said, and his voice was softer now, which somehow hurt more. "I think you're a very diligent student, and I appreciate all the help this semester, but I don't think that's a good idea. We're looking for different things. I could change," she whispered, the words slipping out before she could stop them. "I could try to look better." Julian offered a small, pitying smile, the kind one gives to a child who doesn't understand a difficult concept. "It's not just about that, ARA. It's just not there. It never will be." He turned and walked toward his car, his silhouette perfect against the twilight. ARA stood in the rain, a mess of blurred lines and broken hope. She realized then that in his world of light and symmetry, there was simply no space for someone built of shadows and flaws. He didn't hate her. He just couldn't find a reason to love her.